It's a pleasure to rise and speak to the Education Board of Trustee Freedom Amendment Bill put forward in the name of the Honourable Sir Roger Douglas, and congratulations to Sir Roger. I think I might want to take him to the races with me sometime soon, because he seems to have very good luck at getting his bills drawn out of the ballot. I may wish to borrow that luck not only for going to the races, but also for the ballot draw myself. I have a bill in the ballot that I'd rather like to see pulled out myself, so I'm looking forward to learning the secret to his success. Mr Speaker, the purpose of this bill, even though it's been given the name Board of Trustees Freedom, and haven't we heard that word used a lot to cover up, to be code for a whole range of things. And in this instance, it is code for bulk funding. So Board of Trustees Freedom, code for bulk funding, and we've been there before. And sometimes this place is like being in a bit of a time warp. And here we have Sir Roger Douglas doing the time warp of bulk funding yet again, revisiting a failed experiment from the 1990s, and it was a failed experiment from the 1990s. Well, it was, and I think no, well, Mr Ardern is noting that I haven't said how Labor is voting on this bill, and he's quite right, because I haven't stated that position at all. But I think everyone in the House must acknowledge that it was a failed experiment in the 1990s, although clearly the Māori Party has a differing view from that. I'm not sure where they were during the 1990s when we saw how that all unravelled. But certainly it would create unhelpful competition between schools for teachers, and would result in winner and loser schools. But then, that's not something that's unusual in the current environment, because certainly the approach that the current government has taken to early childhood education creates winner and loser early childhood education facilities. So not out of keeping with what currently happens anyway. And I noted when Jo Goodhue spoke for the government, she warned Sir Roger Douglas that this was not the time to discuss this bill. And talking about code for things, we know that this is not the time for this bill, is code for not in this term. We're not brave enough to do it in this term, but if the public should give that national government a second term, they'll be into it, boots and all. That's what it's code for, Mr Speaker. Not at this time, said Jo, looking directly at Jo Goodhue, looking directly at Sir Roger Douglas, because that's the signal. That's the little wink and the nudge to the ACT Party. Just not right now, Sir Roger, because we've got this stuff going on with national standards that have already got the whole school sector up in arms. It's not the right time, because we're fighting on all fronts. The government is fighting on all fronts in education at the moment. They've cut funding to early childhood education, and is that striking a chord in the community? And Jo Goodhue and Louise Upston can undo their own credibility as many times as they like by getting up and saying that they want to give children the best start possible, as they did say in their speeches. But the fact remains that their government has cut funding to early childhood education. Clearly that government doesn't wish children to have the best start possible, because they're taking qualified teachers out of the early childhood education sector. So there's a lot of doublespeak going on in this debate, Mr Speaker, a lot of doublespeak going on, and certainly much of the doublespeak has been coming from the government benches, who are running a mile from having the bulk funding debate all over again. They're running so far from it that the chair of the Education Select Committee, Alan Peachy, is not able to take a call in this debate, and I think that's a great shame. So the government is running a mile from this debate, because they know how it compromises them, and it will be very interesting to see a Select Committee chaired by Mr Peachy taking submissions on this bill, and that could very well be a reality at the end of tonight's debate. Thank you.